It's Week 13 of the National Football League. And at center stage, it's the...
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they can't bring him down. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl-type season. And maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year. And with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. When you look at this defense, they enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
Stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense?
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against an interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 51 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Line the consecutive blocks and hold him a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. They're going to look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. They'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Buchanan. And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. And from the gun, here's a handoff to Charbonnet. And he gets it a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Zach Charbonnet. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, he had to wait until December, but congrats to the rookie, his first INT.
Yeah, he's been a reliable contributor for this defense throughout the season. Definitely got a bright future and has gotten even brighter after making that play.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Buchanan. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And they get 17 more on that one and another 1st down. Now back to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Back to throw again. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The D brought the house. They called the blitz, and they get to the quarterback, overwhelming the O-line.
And I would love to know, and we'll find out later on, was that called before the play, or did they audible into it? Because defenses change plays as well as offenses. Sometimes they get the set they want. They go right to the blitz, and in this case, they nailed it. Got right to the quarterback. No chance on that 4th down.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And this will be incomplete ball there, and it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jalen Carter gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now, first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jalen Carter, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taking it about the 36. Well, following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old Malachi? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete. Bernard. Then all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes, because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare for defenses to try and contain all year long. NFL leader in rushing yards at the QB position here late in the season. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down. Back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. You talk about this Miami defense. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. In motion, the tight end. On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
2nd and 11. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter from Miami. It's the Dolphins with the football. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. As they've got it as we resume action. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll set up to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down. And
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now the first carry here for the running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, it's complete. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 25, here's 2nd down and 1. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, he'll drop to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well, somewhat calm, only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride the offense this go-around.
Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
They go play action here on first down.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
On the give, here's Charbonnet.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Back to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And now a handoff to Charbonnet.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal.
This a 31-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Raiders offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards that time.
That's a big conversion there on third down, because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. They're going to look to throw.
Got his man, and that's the rookie fourth-round pick.
And he gets this down inside the 35. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Looking to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here we go on 4th down. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Raiders get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Well, I mean, down early here in this first half. I think they felt their backs were against the wall already, so they go for it on 4th and goal. And they're able to punch it into the end zone.
And they did a nice job there, feeling like their backs were against the wall, but going ahead and hunkering down and pushing forward and getting that score. That continues to give them an opportunity.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. It's Buchanan. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. And he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They'll begin here with a run with Charbonnet. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And Charbonnet once again. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Oh, and this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new, it worked there. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory down at the 31. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage, another nice.
1st and 10 at the 11.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Back to throw here. This is caught. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
And this one is right through. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance. So that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Miami set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Charbonnet.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 3.
It's 3rd down and 4.
Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Buchanan. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down.
Here's Charbonnet.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw.
They'll get that to Charbonnet.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. He'll look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line.
Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
2nd and 11. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Phillips has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 18. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a...
Because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And he is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
He'll drop to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury.
We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw here is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation. How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Dolphins offense returning to the field.
They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
They'll set up a throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Now run by Charbonnet.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
43 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now back to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
2nd and 9 now. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Defense keeps him out of the end zone there. Now, will they go for it? And if so, can they do it one more time?
Yeah, I just don't know if it's worth it going for it, because what we've seen from the defense so far, every gap is taken care of. Everyone is sound in their coverage. No one is breaking free, and those ball carriers are getting tagged. If I were them, I'd think very hard about just taking 3 points and taking their dignity and moving on.
And the ball's at the 2, spotted at the 2, so a pretty good chunk to go. And his kick is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
So now London down by 7. 1:52 to play. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. He's back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
2nd and 6 coming up.
They'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's the downside of taking these big shots, because they're definitely lower percentage plays. And now you look up, and it's 4th down. So not only do you have to worry about getting big yardage, you also need to just keep the game alive.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And he fires one incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful, because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they take a knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them this one is now planted.
So for Miami, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.